Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, I've been reading some older articles, and it really has kind of dawned on me that when cryptos were taking off, how easy it was to get people to jump on these weird bandwagons. You know what I mean? And I'm not just talking about NFTs. I mean, people were in this metaverse, they were buying property on there, spending millions of dollars for virtual property. Yeah, that's cool if you're somebody like Eminem, who has tens of millions of dollars to crap away. But if you're a serious investor hoping to catch aboard the next great thing and you miss spending this type of money, it could be devastating. That's why it's important for you to do your own research and not just jump on a bandwagon because everybody says so. Before we get started, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, go check out our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description of the video. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. I remember when cryptos were really starting to rebound. It was about 2019. Everybody swore up and down that their crypto was the best one. It was all going to the moon. And I kind of jumped on those bandwagons. Had something like 64,000 XLM. Had about 68,000 XRP. I had I don't know, I think it was about 47 Ethereums and a countless of other ones just because everybody kept saying, hey, this is going to be the next greatest thing. And then I started researching into it. And the more I did actual research and got past all the fluff, I started to realize that the one crypto that stood out to me the most, of course, was Ethereum. I wasn't big fans of the other ones. The more reading I did, the more I started to realize I don't think anything is going to be able to touch Ethereum. And then the more I started researching into cryptos, the more of a turnoff it was. Don't get me wrong, I do own cryptocurrencies. What I did is I spent some discretionary funds, $50 here or $100 there, taking a gamble on a couple of investments. Shiba, for one. Let's see if it could do what they hope to accomplish. They have a pretty strong army behind them, and they're pretty determined to get it to $1. The other one that I invested into, of course, was Saitama. I really liked what they had to say. I listened to them. I was sold. They had a lot of good future plans, or so it seemed. So I did invest in Saitama. But again, back then you could buy like $100 to get you like 100 billion coins and something like that. They really started a tank. They managed to do a new version called Saitama V2, and they did a conversion, converting people over to the new tokens, but at a rate of 1,000,000 to 1. So if you had 1,000,000 of the first Saitamas, you only got one of the newer versions. This way, then, they can reduce the amount of coins that would be in circulation, and they have a burning mechanism as well. They're continuing to move forward, improving all areas from their original takeoff. So Saitama is looking pretty decent, and it has been moving up over the last month at a very healthy pace. The other one I invested into just because I said to myself, you know what, it's a long shot, but I'm going to go for it. And that was the Luna coin. Luna at one time was worth $113 per token, and it dropped all the way down to dang near nothing. I mean, it had like 4, 5, 6 zeros in front of a 1. But I kept denying her because I was curious. They said it was dead, and I know what a dead token looks like. I invested about $20 into a token called Hangry Birds, which is just like Angry Birds. And I watched it, and then all of a sudden it just tanked. It doesn't exist no more, and they lost their website. And it was a big scam, is what I'm guessing. And the token is dead. It's grayed out. There's no life there. It is dead. Luna did not turn gray, and it didn't disappear. And they're trying to go ahead and rebuild. So my thought is, look, if they were able to get there one time before, if they could get their act together, I'm sure they'll get there again. With the understanding that, look, they burned a lot of their credibility. Now, all of a sudden, everybody and their mama is jumping on an NFT bandwagon. I just couldn't get into it. People thought I'd be really great at it, and nothing about it turned me on. Case in point, look at this picture here right in front of us. This somehow became a very expensive drawing, artwork, whatever you want to call it. But for some reason, somebody thought this particular picture was worth a ton of money. Now I get it. What one person sees as a piece of crap, another person sees as a treasure. You could go through and look at some of the most valuable paintings out there and go, why? Why would you pay so much money for this? And then other ones that aren't worth very much and go, why isn't this one worth way more? It happens. Everybody has different perceptions of the artwork. Everybody has different taste. But everybody was going on and on about NFTs, on, and we need to cover that. So here's an older article I was going over. It says, here's how much money you would have lost if you bought a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT a month ago. This article came out, was this May 27th when it was first published? May 27th. It's a couple months old. But let's hear what the article has to say, because it makes a great point. It said, when the crypto market generally sluggish over the first quarter, some investors turn to non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, which outperform most other digital assets at the time. In search of a haven, however, the bet soon turned sour. Prices of major NFT collections have crashed, with popular ones losing over 50% over the past month, amid a broad sell-off of risk assets as investors are concerned about heated inflation. So that's one thing that should have been taken into consideration. When people are concerned about what the heck is going to happen here in the future, whether it's inflation, whether there's going to be job opportunities, how this is going to just eat up your savings, the whole 9 yards, how you're going to feed your family, then money that's used to invest starts to tighten up and people move into real assets, real investments like gold and silver. So let's take a look at this because, I feel the same way when it comes to cryptos as this article is talking about NFTs. Look, it was the hot thing at the time, but you have to be careful. This is Bored Ape Yacht Club, one of the most popular NFT collections, saw its floor price, or the lowest price since its items plunged to 88 Ethereum on Friday, or about $153,000 from 138 Ethereum on April 27th, or $390,000. So somebody is paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for that. Actually, it's an entire collection, I believe. It says it went down more than 60% or $237,000 during the past month. The slump could be partly contributed to the Ethereum loss of 1.35 in the tank, or the majority of NFTs are based on Ethereum. So if that's the case, look, I still have a ton of faith in Ethereum. I do think they are the absolute future in a lot of different areas when it comes to blockchain. But again, you have to do your own research to find out. So here's the issue that I have with blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and all these other NFTs and all these other things that come out. If your value is tied to a cryptocurrency and that cryptocurrency crashes, then what that does is, like a domino effect, it takes down all these other industries that are connected to these particular cryptocurrencies. See, this is why I think if cryptos really wanted to survive, they absolutely, positively would back their cryptos up with gold and other precious metals with 100% transparency. Also be diversified. Man, if you're tied into just Ethereum, that could be a problem. Although, again, my choice is Ethereum. So anyways, this article goes on to talk about, look, NFTs are taking a major hit. One, because of inflation. Two, because of the loss in value to Ethereum. And three, these types of things for investors are high risk. With high risk, you get high reward, but you can also lose a lot. You want to put your money into something that's a lot safer. So really have to do as much research as possible. I was not getting into the NFTs. I could have had some NFTs made of my icon and the whole 9 yards. So the point being, you can see there's a chain reaction. When something happens to crypto market, it also affects these other markets. So keep that in mind when you're investing. The issue with cryptos when they crashed was a massive liquidation, big money dumping. So all that hype from all these hedge funds and all these big major institutions buying into cryptos, when the things started to go a little sour, they all dumped their cryptos. So it's funny how you were getting the reports on all these people who were buying cryptos, but then you never heard from when they were dumping them. So when I heard, Elon Musk was buying all these Bitcoins and everything else, I said, that's cool. But what happens if he starts to sell them? Is the media going to tell us when he dumps the cryptos? And of course, we didn't ever hear anything about it. And sure enough, Tesla did dump a lot of Bitcoin. Here's what I'm talking about. Like I said, the biggest seller was Terra Luna Foundation Guard, which sold 80,393 Bitcoins in a completely unsuccessful attempt to protect the Terra Luna USD. Tesla was coming second, dumping more than 29,060 Bitcoin, 75% of its holdings, to maximize their cash position. So we heard when Tesla and Elon Musk bought the Bitcoin, but you never hear when they sell it. So that's the other thing I talked about before. They're all good at hyping these cryptocurrencies, which I told people you better be careful because they're really good at hyping them, but nobody's going to tell you when they're dumping their bags of tokens because they believe they reached the peak, and they'll leave you holding the empty bag in the end. They'll tell you when Tesla buys a ton of cryptos, but you won't hear when they dump them. And I brought that up in the video before as well. But I still cling on to a lot of hopes for Ethereum. It's kind of hard to imagine a future without Ethereum because they really are that interwoven into a lot of different areas. Look at this. One of the things I was talking about in July, that Ethereum would have their merge and go into this new type of Ethereum, and that should help it launch again. They're trying to outperform Bitcoin. I've said several times in videos that not only do I believe Ethereum will become as valuable as Bitcoin, but eventually it'll just pass it up. Ethereum merge is the golden moment for the Ether to outperform Bitcoin. It says the Ethereum enthusiasts are eager waiting for the Ethereum merge to outperform Bitcoin. The king of the crypto market might soon lose his crown to Ethereum, since how the rivalry is taking a sharp turn to one side. Bitcoin has gained a healthy 30% from the June low point, but its rival, Ethereum, the world's second most popular crypto, had staged an even more impressive comeback, rallying by 90%. Although Ether is known to be more volatile than Bitcoin, there is more than just the bounce back and broader risk assets driving this upward. Yeah, people already knew the merger was coming and they wanted to jump on the wagon ahead of time. The long-awaited merger, the Ethereum merge, is a long-awaited upgrade that will complete Ethereum's transition from a proof-of-work POW to a proof-of-stake system. It's set to take place in September. It was supposed to be July, but they moved it just a little bit later, so you still have time to jump on that bad boy. In addition, the merge will transform Ethereum's monetary policies, making the network more environmentally sustainable and reducing Ethereum's supply. Experts believe that after the merge, Ethereum will have lower inflation than Bitcoin, especially with fee burns. So the amount of Ethereum in circulation is going to be reduced, you guys. Think about supply and demand. Ethereum will be deflationary while Bitcoin will always be inflationary. For Ethereum Classic, this merge proves to be a key catalyst, at least in terms of interest. Often looked at as Ethereum underloved and under-respected sibling. Ethereum Classic is a fork of the Ethereum blockchain that came about as a result of an internal dispute amongst developers within the Ethereum team. Ethereum Classic will remain proof of work, and as such is now being viewed as a safe haven of sorts for Ethereum miners looking to pivot. While Bitcoin will retain its function as a digital gold, the researchers feel that Ethereum will still have a larger adoption space as a base layer of the decentralized platform, DeFi, decentralized finance, DeFi economy. The merge won't reduce the Ethereum high transaction fees, which is still the main issue preventing Ethereum from scaling and actually outperforming Bitcoin. See, one of the things they said was going to happen is that the fees would be lowered, and now they're saying it's not. I said the day that they can lower their fees and become just as competitive or at the level of other people, you would see them pass Bitcoin up easily. The current condition of Bitcoin price is rising in a steady manner. It remained well bid above the 22,000 support zone. It formed a base above the 22,500 level and started a fresh increase. This price is able to gain pace for a move above the 23,000 resistance zone, in which we know it has. As a matter of fact, as the time of this recording, you can see that Bitcoin's at $23,428. Already lost 367 today. I said it had a good healthy gain and they're maintaining that level, and that's not a big loss, to be honest with you. Anyways, the point is just be very careful. Don't get caught up in the hype bug once crypto start to go back up. I still think there's some more downturn because they are absolutely positively linked to the stock market. So if the stock market starts to really take a dump, you can count on crypto's doing the same thing. As a matter of fact, in this particular article, it does talk about this. So let's start right here and you'll see what I'm talking about. It says in a Twitter thread in July, Arcane Research Analysis explained that for the most part, crypto market is affected by the massive liquidation of institutional investors and corporations that began with Terra Luna. It says 236,237 Bitcoin. This amount to a known sale of Bitcoin by large institutions since May 10th. Most of the sale is related to extortion, the person wrote. The number does not account for our natural capitulation and hedging activities that typically occur in crypto bear markets. So up here they're talking about how whenever the Fed start to do their rate increases, well, then people start doing what's called a cleanup on risk assets, and the crypto's part of that. It says, as discussed earlier, major cryptos are highly correlated to the stock market. I said that for quite some time now. They also have a high beta for stock. This means that crypto, in fact, enhances the movement of the stock if the stock climbs. So does it. Crypto climbs higher and vice versa. If the stock falls, the crypto goes into a free fall as well. Also, what I was saying is the fact that these guys seem to be all moving in the same direction at the same time means if something goes wrong for Bitcoin, then most of them have a problem as well. If Bitcoin does good, the rest of them go good as well. You can see this when you look at their daily charts. The graphs look almost the same, which is one of the concerns I expressed quite some time ago. Anyways, that's it. I just wanted to share this information with you. Just be very careful, because if we start to get a rebound, don't rush to it. I know a lot of you have just been sitting patiently waiting for it to rebound. You have not sold your crypto, so you have not retained any type of loss. So just hang tight, you guys. Eventually it will rebound. At least we all hope so. Anyways, that's it for now. Let me know what you think down below. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out.